So when we're talking about persistence, I'm going to take a sidestep real quick, thinking about those Navy SEALs, and talk about computers. So I want to point out computers and other machines, right, can do a lot of smart things, right, like solve really complex math problems, or run a lot of data, or process a whole lot of visual information. They can do a lot of really great things that seem super smart. But the fact is that computers aren't actually smart. They're really dumb. They just are good at certain things that are difficult for humans. So I'm going to go into that as a way to understand what people have to do to help themselves. Let's look at what makes computers actually smart or successful, right? So the big thing is that computers have no emotions. They don't sabotage themselves. They don't self-sabotage. They don't say bad things about themselves. If a computer is doing a very difficult task, the reason it is successful at that task is not because it's super smart, but because it can work on it for a very long time without feeling bad about it. It doesn't tell itself that it's stupid. If it's taking a while to solve the problem, a computer doesn't care. It doesn't stop. It just keeps going until that problem is solved. That is what makes a machine better than humans at certain things, that it just keeps going on. It's not going to say these bad things to itself. Other thing is they can do the same things a million times over without getting bored or frustrated. So again, in solving a problem, it's not that a computer is really smart, like in solving maybe a very complex math problem. The thing what a computer does is it actually tries different ways of solving the problem and does trial and error a billion times over until it just happens to get it right. Now that's really difficult for a person because it would take too long. But for a computer, it doesn't care. It will fail a billion times and then be successful on the billion and first time, and then it looks like it did something smart. That's the same thing with people. It's the people who keep trying and don't give up even though they failed a whole lot of times that are successful. The difference is computers, they don't get bored, they don't get frustrated, they don't care that a million times they have failed. Right? They will just keep going, and they're not going to get bored about it. The problem with people is we get tired, we get bored, and we feel really bad after a million times of failing at something. It's hard to keep going. So that is the main difference between why a computer is good at what it is and why humans aren't able to do everything that a computer is, even though a computer is actually a lot dumber than we are. Right? So for us to be successful, we have to lift ourselves up. We have to change the things that we say to ourselves. We have to stop worrying about how many failures we have and sort of think almost like a machine, like a computer. I'm going to keep working at this and I will fail a whole lot, but then I'm going to get past this and succeed. I'm going to lift myself up. And with that is certain ways of talking to ourselves, what we call positive self-talk, that will get us there. And next we'll see what the Navy SEALs do to become successful by using this strategy.